Hello, myself Professor Jyoti Thange, and today we learn the crossbar circuit, lecture number 11 of power electronics, and we have to learn the crossbar circuit. Crossbar circuit for the overcurrent and overvoltage protection. For this, see the circuit diagram. Circuit diagram is shown in figure. Here, one fuse is connected. SCR is present there, and current sensitive element or voltage sensitive element is connected to the gate of the SCR. Then diode is there, and R and L circuit is also present, and transistor is a device where we have to protect the transistor from the overcurrent or overvoltage protection. Now, see, this circuit diagram is basically used for protect the circuits or the equipments. This SCR present in this crossbar circuit is normally in the off conditions. Now, when it has a current or voltage sensitive firing element connected to the gate terminal of the SCR. With a voltage sensitive firing, we can use the crossbar circuit for protection against the over voltage. In this, the current is flow through the transistor Q. This transistor Q is shown in figure, and current will flow through this transistor to its flow through this transistor. When this current is goes above the limited or the pre-decided value, then this current sensitive firing element will turn on the SCR. Normally SCR is in off condition, but when this current flowing through this transistor is become more than the pre-decided value, then and then only this current sensitive firing element will connect to the gate terminal of the SCR and SCR gate turn on. When SCR gate turn on, it becomes the closed switch and connect the point A and B. This point A and B form the one circuit. So we can say that in fault condition, SCR turns on and create the virtual short circuit which will blow the link and protect the transistor. In this way, from overcurrent and over voltage, the device get protected using SCR. Now, the second protecting device is the thermal protection. In this thermal protection is nothing but the protection from the temperature. The first important point is how the temperature increases. Temperature increases due to the power losses. Then which type of the power losses are there? Due to these, the thermal temperature get increased. There are the basically two types of the power losses: static power losses and dynamic power losses, which we already learned in previous lecture. Now, in static power losses, there are the three power losses. First is forward conduction power loss, then forward blocking state loss, and reverse blocking state loss. These are the three power losses. In these three power losses, that is the static power losses, the power loss is normally negligible, because in forward conduction power loss, there will be the voltage is minimum and current is maximum. Due to that, the power loss is negligible. Then second is reverse blocking state loss. Reverse blocking state loss, there is a voltage, reverse voltage is very high but current is very small, or we can say that negligible. Hence this power loss is also negligible. And third power loss is the uh, forward blocking state loss. In forward conduction loss. In forward conduction loss, both conduction completed. Now forward blocking state loss. In forward blocking state loss, voltage is very high, current is very small, hence this loss is also negligible. Then which are the losses? Power losses are maximum. The power losses at the time of switching on and at the time of switching off the device is very high, because at the time of switching on the device, switching on the thyristor and switching off the thyristor, the voltage and current both are very high. Due to this, power loss is also high. As there is a power dissipation or power loss is there, then the temperature get increased, and due to increasing temperature, the device may damage. To protect this type of the devices, we have to reduce the heat. Then how the heat will be reduced? Any hot body cools due to the three modes of heat transfer. First mode is conduction mode, second is convection, and third is the radiation. These are the three modes of cooling the any device. Now, in order to cool a power device, it is necessary that the heat generated at the junction must flow of the cooling medium or ambient above the period of time. The heated body cool down faster if it has larger area connected with the ambient. Therefore, the power device are mounted on the external heat sink. Heat sink is a device which cool down the equipment, or heat will be dissipated with this help of heat sink. Now, what is the thermal resistance of the power device? Rise in temperature is directly proportional to the power dissipation. Hence, in equation, we can say that delta T is directly proportional to the PD, where delta T is the rise in temperature or change in temperature, and which is directly proportional to the PD, that is nothing but the power dissipation. Put delta T is nothing but the junction temperature at the junction minus temperature at the ambient. Put this value instead of delta T, you will get the equation Tj minus Ta is directly proportional to the Pd. Now, when we put the proportionality constant, that is theta, the equation will be as Tj minus Ta is equal to theta into Pd, where theta is the thermal resistance, or we can say that the proportionality constant. Now, calculate this theta, that is the proportionality constant or resistance. This is calculated by the equation theta is equal to delta T upon PD, that is the power dissipation. If temperature is considered as 1, then divided by power dissipation measured in Ka. Now, K is the heat transfer coefficient and A is the area involved in the heat transfer. Now, this PD, that is the power dissipation, is given by the equation delta T by theta, where delta T is nothing but the Tj max minus Ta upon theta J into A, where Tj max is nothing but the maximum junction temperature and Ta is nothing but the maximum ambient temperature. Now, this theta Ja is nothing but the thermal resistance between the ambient and junction. Now, maximum power dissipation is limited by the equation PD is equal to Tj max minus Tc upon QJC, theta Jc, where Tc is nothing but the case temperature. For smooth flow of heat from the junction of the power device to the ambient, the value of the thermal resistance should be as small as possible. Now, how this value of the thermal resistance will be controlled? This value is depend on the following factors. First is size of the power device. Second is type of the heat transfer mechanism, and third is type of the cooling system. By controlling these three methods, we can control the thermal resistance. And as thermal resistance is very small, then the power dissipation is also small, and if power dissipation is small, means we can say that the thermal temperature, rising temperature is getting reduced, and rising temperature getting reduced means we can see thermal protection or temperature protection or temperature increasing. Now, to next lecture, we have to learn the commutation techniques of the SCR. Commutation means turning of the SCR. Turning of the SCR we have to learn in next lecture. Thank you.